this workshop, we're going to be taking you through a couple of really important sites that are going to help you with your job and internship search. We're going to highlight some new sources from our new job search tool. Over the winter break, we put together this really comprehensive list of sites that you can use to search. You can really tailor it to your interests, and this is a really great starting off point. So we're going to highlight some of those today, and we're going to review some of the key features and how to use these search engines very effectively.
If you have any questions along the way, feel free to raise your hand and we can go through them together, or you can type them in the chat. We'll be monitoring both as well.
Okay, so here's that new job and internship search resource that I just mentioned. You can get them in the newsletter every week. Emily is going to be sharing a link in the chat. You can come to the Humanities Contact Office and get it. You can also just email Rockefeller Careers, which is our email. Emily and I will be happy to send you a copy of this. This is a great thing. Definitely save it, keep it handy. Anyone who's looking for, especially summer internships, if you're in at the MPA or the MIA program, a lot of those summer positions are actively recruiting right now. So this is a really good time to use this source and to start looking for what interests you most.
So the format of what we're going to do today is we're going to take you through some of those websites that Taylor just showed you on that list, that resource that we dropped in the chat. And so the first website we're going to go through quickly is the new New York Leaders. This is a website for all New York State internships, specifically internships within the state. When you go to this website, it's going to take you to an overview. The portal is where you're going to do all of your applications for any state internships. So you'll create an account with the state. It'll be your civil service account. If you took the PCO, the Professional Career Opportunity Exam, or if you've applied to any state job, they'll all be in a portal over here. To view internship opportunities, right now, it'll be showing all summer 2023 internships. They should all be out as of now. Usually, all state internships will be posted the semester before the semester they're hiring for and early within the semester. These are both undergrad and graduate internships. They will tell you your minimum standing. So for this one, you have to be a graduate student. For this one, you can be a junior in undergrad. And it also tells you the occupational interests or school degrees that they're looking for. So this might be helpful for everyone who came here. If you are in environmental sciences, natural sciences, and then in order to see more about a job that you're interested in, you would click that little plus sign and it'll give you the description and some other information. Any questions about new New York Leaders? If you do, just write them in the chat. So the second website I'll take you through, so that was for internships. For actual jobs, full-time or part-time seasonal positions, you're going to want to go to statejobs.newyork.gov. For there, you're going to want for state employees, if you do internships, it'll just take you back to that new New York Leaders portal. For this one, you're going to want to go to search vacancies on the corner. And state jobs are interesting because they're categorized with non-competitive versus competitive. If they're competitive, that means that the job is open for anybody to apply. The general public can apply. Sometimes you'll need to be on an eligibility list to apply, and that would be where the PCO exam came in, or certain tests. Non-competitive status means that you have to already be a state employee in order to apply, so you could transfer into that position. So from here, if you were looking for an analyst position in, you can do more general searches based on occupational categories, but in capital Saratoga region, you press submit. And here would be all open positions in Albany. So you can go through each county that you're interested in working for. Any questions about New York State posting in general? I'm not going to ask that every time. I'm not sure if you have questions along the way, just go for it. So the New York State postings can also be a little difficult to understand, like what does a business system analyst do, especially because the job specifics can be a little overwhelming. So if you're ever like, I don't understand what something on New York State jobs is saying, you can go to this fun website, New York State Got It. And this is basically like a full dictionary for all New York State job postings. So if you are curious about what a certain title position does, you can go to title search and you can go to title keywords. And for example, contract specialist, if you want to know more about what a contract specialist does, it'll bring you some titles with contract specialist. So contract specialist 1, 2, 3, usually that's just when you're getting more advanced. And then from here, it'll tell you the career ladder. So where you have movement from that position that you start in. From trainee 1, you can go all the way up to specialist 4. It'll tell you a summary of the job. It'll tell you some minimum qualifications you might need to qualify for that job, how to apply, mobility. And then you can always tell the salary based on the grade. Every state position is salaried based on grade. So it's a grade 13. I'm not sure if this one tells you it does not, but if you Googled what a grade 13 salary was, it would come up. They're pretty standardized. Okay, so those are some fun New York State resources for finding jobs in the state. There's also county websites. If you are looking to work in your local county or county outside of Albany, or even in Albany, you'd want to go to that specific county's website to find jobs. So I have an example here of Dutchess County. And each county will post their own job opening. So Dutchess has job search and all of their immediate job opportunities, as well as the competitive exams that will make you eligible for those positions. Next, we're going to go over some of the federal resources we put in that list. And the main one that we want to highlight, although Department of State is also great, is USA Jobs. USA Jobs is going to be your like home everything for any federal job. You will need to make an account. Once you log in, you're going to have your own dashboard where you can save any positions you're interested in. You can look up keywords, locations. The great part about this that I want to highlight is that you can explore hiring paths here. So if you are a student or a recent graduate and you're looking for federal, could you look at US jobs for internships? Yep, absolutely, Lauren. So for internships, you're going to go over to students and recent graduates. And from here, you can do search internships. You can also read about the Pathways Internship Program, which is a federal internship program, and what you might need for that. You just click over here. You can search internships for federal organizations. You can search by department or agency. Department of Energy, sure. So these would be all of the internships available, and you can really specify that job search. Did that answer your question, Lauren? Okay, awesome. So the other great part of USA Jobs, which is going to be so key if you're applying to federal jobs, is your documents page. Federal resumes, which I won't go into too much detail about now, are not your typical resume. They are long, lengthy, and they include everything you've ever done. So USA Jobs helps with creating that federal resume by doing it pretty much for you. And to do that, you're going to go to your documents under your profile, and you're going to upload or build a resume. From there, you're probably going to you'll name your resume. and then you'll add work experience, and it'll just kind of create that for you. This is very standard for federal jobs, and in fact, you can make your resume searchable. And if you're applying to jobs straight through usajobs.com or .gov, you can send your resume straight from their site, and some jobs actually require you to send it straight from usajobs.gov. So that's important to know about and to start playing with.
Okay, so in addition to going directly through the federal government or going right through New York State, there are some general search engines you can use, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Those include the likes of LinkedIn and Indeed, Handshake. But there's also some field-specific search engines that are really helpful that we want to share with you guys. Some of those include public service careers, careers in government, and Polycorner, and I'm going to be taking you guys through Polycorner here. This particular search engine functions a lot like LinkedIn, except it focuses exclusively on political, legal, and public service jobs and internships. You just create a free account to access a lot of the openings, and you can narrow it by industry as well. So now we're going to go to Polycorner and test some things out. So when you are looking for a job, you can go to Find Jobs and Internships. It will pop up with both. And it also is going to have you log in, which I was logged in earlier, but it decided to log me out. Sorry about this, guys. If you are, now I'm in the same camera as Emily. So one of the cool things about this is you can search by industry. So if you're interested in campaigns or you're interested in communication, you can choose the tab that works best for you. So just as an example, we'll go government office, and you can do it by job type. So this is really great if you're looking for an entry-level position, mid-level position, internship, really great. And an example here, we can look up, say, analyst, and you'll get different like budget analyst positions, all sorts of things. And when you open it, you can see the partisanship. You can see if it's in-person or remote. This is a really great site for this. I highly recommend using Polycorner, and it will give you all sorts of information on the specific posting. That is kind of the quick overview of Polycorner. I think it's a really cool site. I would definitely encourage everyone to make use of it. Another general site that you can tailor your searches is Indeed. And one of the cool things is you can narrow it by location. Most of these search engines will, if not all, will have a function to narrow it by location. So say you're interested in positions in DC and you're interested in being a policy analyst, this particular type of analyst, then if you click Find Jobs, you'll get a whole list of possible positions on the left. We'll take this analyst in agricultural policy for the U.S. Library of Congress. It will give you the duties on the right. It will give you requirements and qualifications, which you're going to want to look through, if there's an educational component that you have to meet, and other benefits, other information on your application. It'll give you the salary information, location, and we'll tell you if it's full-time, and then you can apply directly through the website of the posting. And then there's also Handshake, which I just want to mention. Every UAlbany student has an account to this automatically. You can do jobs and internships through this. A lot of what you'll notice is that these search engines do jobs and internships. It's not a particular to one or the other. You can search for both, which is really, really cool. So I would definitely encourage you guys to make use of that. And then another key thing is international opportunities. If you are in international affairs or you're an undergrad that really would like some international experience, there's some really cool websites that could help you with your search. One that I want to talk about is Going Global. And there is a way to get through this through MyUAlbany. You have to log into your MyUAlbany account and actually go to the academics tab. It signed Emily out, so she's going to log in really quick. But I'm going to tell you a bit about Going Global. If you have questions, you can always come to Emily and I. We've both spent a lot of time figuring out how to use the platform. You can access internships abroad or in the US. Same with jobs. So here it is, you'll go to Going Global tab, and then you will see it says University of Albany in the upper right-hand corner. And one of the cool things that I want to mention are these career guides. These are incredibly helpful. So you really want to do an internship in, we'll say, Rome. You can go through these little guides and it will give you so much information. It'll help you with some job search resources. It'll also give you information on what resumes are like in that particular country and city. And also, if you're just curious what it's like to live and work there, these are really great. If you're going to be going abroad, you can learn about different financial considerations, what daily life is like there. These are really, really awesome resources. Additionally, you can go to internships or jobs. You can search remote if you're interested in that. I know that now that the pandemic is we're having more of a return to normalcy, study abroad programs are going. You can probably try to look for some internships abroad and get some experiences that way, some international experiences. Anyone who's maybe in the Master of International Affairs program is going to find this really helpful, and it's going to be really cool. One key thing I do want to point out, though, is that because this site it compiles postings from all across the world, you might want to try it with alternative spellings or alternative languages just so that you can see you're getting the full range of postings available to you. The other cool source that I want to show today is Global Jobs, which is really great. It has postings, think tanks, NGOs, private sectors, all sorts of things. And it's another one where you can search by region. So if you are interested in staying in North America, but you want something with more of an international focus to it, you can say search for an internship, and it will give you one. Communications intern position is open for the UN right now. You can also say you want positions in Europe instead. You'll see that there's postings open in Belgium, a lot of positions open in Belgium right now. I've seen London on here, London is here. You can really kind of go through these, see what you're interested in. And then two other sites that are helpful, Relief Web, if you're interested in humanitarian-focused career opportunities, that's a site that just compiles a lot of those that particular sector. And then you can also go to specific websites, see what programs maybe are the best fit for you. Red Cross, Peace Corps has programs open to students as well, right upon graduation. And also, the other category we're going to talk about is legislative, and that's probably of interest to a lot of political science, public policy students, and we're going to talk about that at both the New York State level and at the federal level. Lots of you maybe are aware, but the New York State Senate and Assembly does a full-time internship program each spring semester, so you would want to be applying in the beginning of that fall semester directly before. And there's also part-time internships with the New York State Assembly. Those are a great way to get your foot in the door. Since a lot of offices in New York State Assembly and Senate hire interns, or they'll hire interns out of other offices, this is a really great way to make your internship opportunity potentially translate into future employment. It is a great way to get your foot in the door. So we've linked the New York State Assembly internship program and the Senate student program. You can also ask us questions about that. We help with applications and that sort of thing. And then grads have their own particular program. And Emily's throwing links in the chat to undergrad programs. But if you're a grad student, there are also programs for you. New York State Assembly has a graduate scholar program that happens also during the spring during the legislative session. And the New York State Senate has a Senate Fellows program from September to June in the year after that you graduate. And we're actually going to be having an info session with the Director of Student Programs from the New York State Senate later this month. So if you're interested in the Senate Fellows program, we highly recommend that you come to that. This is a great way to get experience working in state government. And if you're looking for jobs with the Senate and Assembly, you don't go the internship pathway. Individual members will make their own postings. If they share them with our office, we can also share them. So this is incentive to check the newsletter. We post all sorts of relevant opportunities in the tables at the end of the undergrad and grad newsletters. And also, if you're looking for a position that's in the district office, maybe not in the Albany office, so if you're home for the summer, you're looking for an opportunity, you can also reach out to individual members and see what opportunities they have. And then at the federal level, we have the Senate and the House, and there are various job and internship openings. The cool thing is the Senate has a bulletin that you can subscribe to. You can also subscribe to the House of Representatives bulletin, have it delivered to your email. You would just put in your email address here, subscribe, boom, you have access to all the different opportunities that are currently open. And you can also look at individual member websites. I know that there's senators and other representatives that if you go directly to whatever their website is, you can go to like get involved or, you know, work for us, careers, some variation of that phrasing will have different opportunities. And I know in New York State, our US senators for New York State, they have like DC internships, but they'll also have internships at their regional offices. So there might be some at the Capital Region office or maybe Central New York if it's based out of Syracuse, for example. So definitely things to check going forward.
And our last thing that we're going to focus on is fellowship, the fellowship resource. So we have two fellowship resources that we want to highlight. This one, ProFellow, is great, but I'm going to highlight this one, APSIA. And this is great because it has fellowships and scholarships all around. You can choose your citizenship. You can choose the areas that you're looking for a fellowship in. You could choose your program. So if you're a graduate, if you're looking for work experience, if you're looking for language training, like CLS, for example, and then it'll bring up a full list of the fellowships, the areas or topics that are funded, the demographics that they fund, citizenships that they fund. This is a great resource for finding any fellowship, really. And they have both undergrad as well as grad. So, let me sharing. Some other ways you can get involved and start looking, but they're all those sites we're going to take you through today. And if you have any like specific questions about any other sites, you're welcome to ask us as well. But some other ways you can find internships is research specific organizations and companies, especially if you want to get into like nonprofit or private sector work. If there's any organizations that you've always admired or you're interested in, you can look them up on Google, and then it also will say related searches, which might introduce you to other organizations that have similar missions. Just check department emails, attend the employer info sessions. So some information sessions we have coming up this week, or we have one tomorrow with the Friedlander Group. The CEO of the Friedlander Group, who is a political consultant in New York City, is coming to speak with our students, and it'll be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. on Zoom. And it's going to be a great opportunity to network a little bit, learn about the field, learn about any opportunities that they have open at the Friedlander Group. If you're interested in being in New York City over the summer, this might be a fun opportunity. Then next week, we have the Berkshire Municipal Management Association coming with an alum from Rockefeller College who comes to speak about getting involved in local government and county government. And like Taylor said, on February 28th, we have the Director of Student Programs coming to speak about the New York Senate Fellows Program for grad students who are graduating this year or this semester. So that will be great to come to. And then back all the way in March, we have the Government Accountability Office coming on March 21st on Zoom, and that will be a great one. You'll hear more about that as we get closer. We also want to highlight some career fairs that UAlbany is hosting. There's a business job and internship fair, a technology and science job and internship fair, and then for our students, we like to really push the government and nonprofit job and internship fair. At these fairs, there are tables with employers who you can speak to, network, learn about the organizations, bring your resumes, bring your business cards, look professional, and yeah, get involved, get some face-to-face contact with some recruiters. Ask people in your network. Networking is always important. Also, informational interviews are so helpful to learn about what's out there, especially if you're kind of learning the field or learning what language to use in your searches, see what other people do in your field. Tell people you're looking for jobs, because then they'll think about you when they hear of openings and send them your way. Attend networking events, especially career fairs, and use our networking platforms like UCAN, which we have through UAlbany. All right, that was a lot of information. We have been recording this, and we will share the recording in case there was like one website you like really liked and you wanted to go through yourself. Or if you want to share it, you'll have that. We'll send that to you tomorrow, I believe. And then on here, we also have our office hours. We're happy to help you with any internship or job searches that you're looking for, or if you find one that you're interested in applying to, we're happy to help you with any application materials like cover letters and resumes. So my office is downtown on the downtown campus in Milne 105, and I have office hours that you can just drop into on Tuesdays from 12 to 2. Taylor?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I'm on the Uptown campus, Humanities B16, it's the contact office. Thursdays from 1 to 3, you can stop by anytime, ask questions, or you can always email or set up an appointment as well. And Emily also has appointments available on Handshake. We're pretty accessible, just reach out and we're happy to help.
Yeah. Any questions, any websites that we went through a little too quickly?
You can feel free to put them in the chat too.
Yeah. And if not, you're welcome to, will there be any job and internship virtual fairs? I don't believe Lauren, are you in Rockefeller College?
I was for my undergrad. I believe now with my grad, I believe I'm more like with the Homeland, so I don't think so anymore, but
okay,
I was criminal justice undergrad.
Awesome. So we are trying to plan some panels for like New York State opportunities, as well as like New York City specific or like region specific.
Okay.
So we'll have panels. I'm not sure about, I don't know how many fairs that are virtual.
I was just curious with that part. I'm in the first year of the program, like, so I'm my apologies for my dogs. I'm planning on being up in Albany next year, just with how new the program I joined, like it just logistic wise did not work out for me coming up to Albany. So I was kind of sad in a sense. I've been missing with all the fairs. So I was just curious if there's like anything going on in that regard, like if there's any opportunities like fair wise or like just specific, like maybe like governmental ones that are virtual.
Yeah, I think the Department of Civil Service sometimes has virtual career fairs. I know they did one before the PCO announcement. So their website might be interesting to look at if they're doing any virtual fairs where they had like a whole bunch of, it was really cool. So I hope they do it again. I would look at the Department of Civil Service website, see if they're hosting any virtual events.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I see a question in the chat about internships being for sophomores or above. Are there any available for freshmen? I can say yes, because I did one as a freshman. They are out there. I know the New York State Assembly part-time internships were opened up to students in any year. Internships with legislators are a good way to get your foot in the door. I did one that was with a senator as a freshman, and so there are always good opportunities to look at for those. I believe State Watch was also open to students of all years, undergrads and grads. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they were also open. But definitely take a look. There are opportunities for freshmen, and you can get credit for them. If you find one and it happens to be unpaid, definitely come talk to us about at least getting academic credit for it, and we're happy to make sure that you're able to get some course credit. Does anybody have any other questions? I think it's good to stop sharing, probably.
I got a quick question. For the New York State ones, in your experience, are they usually all posted by now, or will there still be ones coming up on the websites?
For internships?
for internship, for summer internships? Are they usually all posted at this point, or are we still kind of in the beginning?
That's a great question. I would assume they're all posted around the same time just because they're all through civil service and they have to follow like a pretty rigid hiring process. But I actually am not 100% sure on that one. Do you?
As far as New York State goes too, I mean, the New York Leaders portal is good. You can also check particular websites for openings too. I've seen them on some state agencies have internship opportunities posted on their websites directly. Others don't. It just kind of depends. But check a combination of New York Leaders and the particular website. I don't know if they all follow the same timeline or not, or if they're all posted now or not. I just kind of keep tabs on the agencies that you're most interested in, probably to try to, monitor that situation, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
The application period runs from January 1st to June 8th. So I'm not quite sure if new postings are going to be posted up, but it sounds like you have.
Okay. And the advice is to apply like now, like early as possible, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
They're going through and people are starting to compile.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Anyone have any last questions for us? We're gonna stop recording. If you have individual questions, we can always stay after and answer them. But if there's no more questions, thank you guys so much for coming. Please feel free to reach out to us over email if you think of something later that you want to ask, and we are happy to help.